invite Nandini's school friends, Pooja and Abby, to say a few words.
Hello everyone, my name is Pooja Krishnan and I've known Nandini throughout high school and we became close last year.
My name is Sophia Kirshner and I've known Nandini since 6th grade, but we became friends towards the end of last year.
Hi, my name is Abby Harris and I've been best friends with Nandini since 7th grade. We are so happy that all of you are here today to help support one of our favorite people. While we have this time during the intermission, we thought we would share some memories and some of our favorite things about the one and only Nandini Mathavan.
I'd first like to acknowledge the fact that Nandini is one of the most helpful people that I've ever known. Nandini tutored me for the AP Chem exam like it was her full-time job. I mean, seriously, this girl put like 7 hours per day on the phone with me, helping me through old free response questions and explaining things to me when I didn't understand. Nandini is so talented academically, and had already taken the class, doing exceptionally well her freshman year, and she didn't hesitate to help me out when I needed the extra support a few months ago while I was studying. There's not a lot of people out there who would dedicate their own study time. I mean, she had her own exams to get through, but she still assigned me practices she thought I needed and went through them herself to make sure she fully understood how to best explain it to me. She would check in on me, and if I didn't get it, she refused to accept my defeat and gave me similar questions to work through. Going into the AP exam at 8 a.m. on May 7th, I felt a little nervous, but all that practice with Nandini really paid off. I actually felt pretty good afterward and ended up doing better than I ever could have imagined. Sometimes all it takes is a little extra help and someone being there for you, and Nandini was that someone for me. I have no doubt that this year, when I'm struggling my way through calc, I can rely on Nandini to get me through it. Now, personality-wise, Nandini has got to be one of the craziest and bubbliest people I know. I've told her in these exact words before, Nandini, literally everything that comes out of your mouth is so funny. Her positive energy and unfiltered expression shine when I talk to her at school, when we hang out, and even through text with her abundant use of capitalization, the iMessage reactions, and emojis. It's literally impossible not to like Nandini. She's so herself all the time and so fun to be around. I love every minute that I spend with her, even if it's just something as laid back as talking, eating food, or driving. Now, I've covered a lot of the bases here. Nandini is extremely intelligent, caring, helpful, sweet, fun to be around, and so very talented, as all of you get to witness tonight. But I also want to brag about the fact that I'm friends with an international DECA champion, like #1 in the world. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but the fact that I get to be friends with the girl who won the project management category for a project on food insecurities is pretty cool.
Likewise to Pooja, Nandini became my personal tutor towards the end of junior year. As most of you know, Nandini is quite talented when it comes to academics, especially in regards to math. Now, unlike Nandini, who took AP Calc last year, I was just trying to get through pre-calc. The day before the exam, I texted Nandini asking if she could help me out, and she happily agreed. I said it would take 30 to 45 minutes, but little did I know that call was going to last 2.5 hours. The next day, I went into the exam with all the information Nandini had taught me, and I can proudly say I came out with an A. While that pre-calc call was quite lengthy, it does not compare to the multiple sessions we had on the phone regarding the SAT. Again, math is not my strong suit, but luckily, Nandini was always there to pick up the pieces. At the end of junior year, I was signed up for the June 11th SAT and was completing math practice sections left and right at the beginning of summer. Along the way, I would start questions I was confused about, but I needed somebody to explain them to me. Fortunately, I had Nandini. It became a daily occurrence where I called Nandini with math questions. She would sit down at her desk, pull out her Post-it note, and explain the methods to me over and over again until I understood. I want to stress that she was very committed to her job as my SAT tutor. Many times, the questions would be extremely confusing to me, and I would say, "That's okay, let's just move on to the next one." But she was always there to me saying, "No, Sophia, I want you to understand." And I eventually did. If not for her being adamant that I pushed through the hard problems, my math SAT score wouldn't have risen by so much. Again, let me mention that she was tutoring me on a daily basis during the summer. I don't know many other people willing to spend their summer evenings helping a friend out on the SAT, and for that reason, along with many others, I'm extremely grateful to have Nandini in my life. Now, Nandini and I do a lot more than just math when we're together. I've had the wonderful experience on going on one of her renowned nature walks, as she calls it, which was a whole 5 miles, by the way. I've also been able to give back to Nandini for all the help she's given me academically through organization. I myself am a neat freak. The first time I came over to Nandini's house, I immediately noticed that her closet was not up to my organizational standards, so we promptly set a day, which we dubbed Closet Day, And we went through all of her clothes, every single item, categorized every single item, went to the container store, put everything in bins, and afterwards I would say the difference was like day and night. Now that was a full 8-hour workday, and while it sounds quite tedious, it was quite fun because Nandini is the most fun person to be around. Not only have we done closet day, but we've also done desk day, and we're soon preparing for bathroom day.
I wanted to start out by talking about the first time I ever met Nandini. I really do remember it just like it was yesterday. It was about a week into our 7th grade year, and it was also my first year at Park Tutor. To be honest, I didn't really have the best couple of weeks because I didn't know anyone. However, things started looking up for me at the end of the day when I got inside the girls' locker room. I was changing into my gym clothes, and Nandini came over to me and just started talking. I was confused at first, but then we instantly hit it off, and so began our friendship. Nandini seriously is one of the most kind and caring people I have ever met, and because of her, she has made my years at PT a whole lot better. Last year, Nandini and I were doubles partners for the girls' tennis team at Park Tutor, and let me just say, it was such an experience having her as my partner. Whenever our coach would pair us together on the day of a match, Nandini and I would always exchange a big smile. During practices, 1 minute we would be warming up, having a good rally going, and the next we'd be lying on the floor laughing until we couldn't breathe. During matches, she would cheer me on whenever I hit a winner and vice versa. I remember one match where I was just standing at the net watching the girl on the other team hit a really tough shot to Nandini, and I thought that she wouldn't be able to get to the ball in time, but nevertheless, she got the ball back over the net and hit the game winner. Although we may not be #1 varsity doubles, I say we still make a pretty good team. Nandini and I would also drive to away matches together we would always drive to away matches together to fuel up before the games. Speaking of eating, Nandini and I also do a lot of that together. I swear we've been to almost every restaurant in Indianapolis. But out of all those restaurants that we go together, I'd say our favorite would have to be Napoli's. We get the same thing every time we go, the baked goat cheese appetizer and an entire margarita pizza. Between the two of us, we always eat it all. I think it's safe to say that our order will never change. Although Nandini can be known to be super talkative at times, she's also the best listener. I can recall countless FaceTime calls at night where we would just talk to each other for hours. Whenever I have a problem, she just sits there and listens, and when I'm done talking, she always says something reassuring. I can't believe that after all this time, we're finally seniors, which means it's time for the inevitable college applications. Nandini and I will most likely end up at different colleges studying completely different things, but I know that we can easily overcome this barrier. And even though we may not be able to go out to dinners every week, play tennis together, and FaceTime 24/7, I know that no matter the distance, we will always be best friends.
Now, maybe you guys are wondering, why is this particular random assortment of girls on stage here giving a speech all together for Nandini? Well, we all had our separate friendships before the 2021 girls tennis season, but by the end of the 2 months, we were a solid friend group. Sophia and I were doubles partners, and as were Nandini and Abby, and every day during warm-up, we would go to our same court and warm up together. Later on in the season, we would also hang out before practice, shout out to Sophia's car, and blast music. Our karaoke sessions, tennis house changing chats, warming up, and hyping up our fellow teammates resulted in a friendship that I wouldn't trade for the world.
One of the first times we hung out outside of the tennis atmosphere was a place called Yujo, which is a restaurant that makes boba tea and ramen. None of us had ever heard of it before. Nandini insisted that we go. I mean insisted. Good thing she did because it is now one of our staple places to eat at. After we were all done eating, we sat in Pooja's car in the parking lot and sang at the top of our lungs to all of our favorite songs as teenage girls do. Of course, we had to end the night off on a sweet note. And next thing we know, Nandini is Googling dessert places near me. And the first thing that popped up was Dairy Queen. What's funny is that was the first time Nandini had ever been to Dairy Queen, so when we pulled up through the drive-thru, we had to simultaneously order and explain to Nandini what a blizzard was. Our love for consuming food together made our next plan for hanging out simple. Obviously, we had to try a new restaurant, so we decided to go to the brand new Shake Shack that had just opened up in Fishers. The place was packed, so we did what any reasonable group of 4 would do, split up and secure a table. And soon enough, we were all sitting together enjoying another delicious meal.
While we were that Shake Shack hangout in mid-June, we planned our next outing, which we named Lake Day, where we would go to Abby's grandparents' house, ride the tube, the jet skis, go to the boat, and eat dinner. We planned that for July 10th, and we hoped it would be a nice sunny day. However, the forecast the day before said there was an 80% chance of rain, so we brainstormed some different ideas and came up with Painting Day. Personally, I love to follow Bob Ross tutorials, so I thought it would be enjoyable if we all did one together. It ended up being a really fun day, and we all got to be there as Nandini's creative side came out when she painted her logs in lieu of a bush. Eventually, on August 8th, we were able to have Lake Day, and the most notable part was when we started tubing. She got on the tube with Abby, and within the first minute, her face was pure fear, and she began to freak out because she didn't want to break her legs for this very occasion. While she didn't, she got off the tube very quickly, and she was able to just ride on the boat very calmly. I'm extremely excited for our next hangout, which also happens to be right up my alley, which is cooking. We plan to complete a 3-course Italian meal from scratch for Abby and Nandini's birthday.
On behalf of Sophia, Abby, and as you can probably tell, our hangouts are very thoroughly planned out in advance, like considering the fact that Cooking Day is going to be taking place in about a month from now, but we had all the details planned out 2 weeks ago. We swore to each other that we would make sure we hung out and did something fun every month, and I think that this is truly a testament on how much we love being around each other. This group wouldn't be the same without Nandini, and none of us would want anyone else in our little group but her.
On behalf of Sophia, Pooja, and I, we cannot even begin to say how proud we are of Nandini and everything she has accomplished to be here performing in front of all of us today. We truly are so grateful to have Nandini in our lives, and we could not have asked for a better friend. Even though life will take us all 4 of us on different paths, we hope to stay in touch for many years to come. We all know Nandini is going to do great things in her life, and she's going to be famous and successful one day, and we will all have had the pleasure of knowing her. We love you, Nandini, and we are proud of everything that you have accomplished. So let's get a big round of applause for our favorite dancer.